Robbie Ross, Michael Hancock, Steve Renoff, Willie Card, Wendell Saylor. Michael Hancock, the head shaven, closely tonight. Kevin Walters, Langer Johns and Ryan at the back of the scrum. Two youngsters in the front, Webke and Green. Brad Thorne, State of Origin behind him. Kevin Walters, an injury-ridden year. Chris Johns in the background, playing his last season, Chris. And now, Jason Taylor, Rugby League's best and fairest for 1996. Takes out the Bears. Oozing with experience in the forwards. With blistering pace and youth in the back line. There's the card. Sears, Dallas, Icon, Caruana, Roy, Butner, Taylor, Moore, Fairley, Florimel, Trindle, Soden, Larson. Chris Caruana. Down on the sideline tonight for us, Chris Bombolas. Yes, Chris, good evening.
Good evening, Ray. Good evening, everyone. Well, Brisbane coach Wayne Bennett, as quiet as he normally is, he went around to each individual player and just addressed them calmly. No panic in the Brisbane dressing room. For Norths, Peter Louis wants them to keep it tight in the forwards, and then he wants to, believe it or not, take Brisbane on in the backs. He says, do unto them as they have done to you.
And here endeth the first lesson from the parables, according to the coach. Eddie Ward's got the job tonight. A lot of people think that that's an advantage to Brisbane. I disagree with that. I think it's added pressure for Eddie Ward. And sometimes the home-spun referee, he can go the other way to look as though he's being more fair. Now they're waiting for them to get the fireworks carriage off the ground, this magnificent ground, regarded by many as the best rugby league arena in Sydney, in Australia. So we adjust the compass where we are and all of that, and Brisbane is the venue, and Brisbane are with the football. First tackle of the night on Shane Webke. Kevin Walters using Brad Thorne. The young Brisbane pack. And they get the first penalty.
Yes, Brad Thorne there trying to play the ball quickly, wasn't allowed to. It's a big advantage to Brisbane. Here he is, Thorne hitting it up. Second in the lineup he was after Shane Webke first hit up. He just isn't allowed to get up quickly to play it. But it is an advantage. Their forwards are having a chance to get involved early, touching the football first up.
Webke again then. His second touch of the football. 4 tackles gone. He's had it in his hands twice. Langer. And then Walters. Around the back for Thorne. And the big men are going to hit him out wide. Green is waiting for the ball. Played by Walters just outside the 20-metre line. This is Green now. Put on a step and got inside 1. Tackle number 5, 10 metres out. Langer. Langer, the cross kick. Now the jump. And they had it and lost it. Oh boy, that was close.
Yeah, great kick there from Alf. They did have it, knocked it on over the line. It could have been the first Brisbane try of the match. Robbie Ross went up, couldn't control the football. Interesting to note in that set of 6, Brad Thorne hitting it out wide. Right at Jason Taylor. Jason's won the Rothmans medal. He's a great player, but if there is one weakness in his game, it is his front-on defence.
I remember vividly in the opening exchanges in their clash this year that North Sydney played razzle-dazzle football. They threw the ball about with gay abandon in the early part of the game. It'll be interesting to see if they have the same tactics tonight, as Wendell Saylor is able to field a pressured kick from Jason Taylor. Kevin Walters. Ross in from fullback. back on his own 30-metre line. Webke really keen to work, and look at him go.
It's a great run for the big fella. He likes getting those yards on the short side, of course. That's where the Bears didn't move up very well. Peter Ryan now with a good surge forward. No, Michael Hancock it was.
Kevin Walters there, waiting at down into Nigel Roy's corner. That's a very good effort by the North Sydney winger. Running away, fielding the ball, bringing it back, and then almost beating the defence. Ben Eichen. David Fairley. Langer and Green are there with Webke. Fairley, of course, runner-up to Taylor. Was the best and fairest for the year. And now Eddie Ward has found a swinging arm. And this will be a penalty on Brad Thorne.
Yeah, Craig Wilson already on for Billy Moore, taking up the ball. And Brad Thorne, it was a high tackle, no doubt about it. Clumsy more than anything.
Eddie Ward with the words, get it down and keep it down. Craig Wilson on the field for Billy Moore. This is Trindle under that barrage of Brisbane defence. Soden behind Fairley for Larson. Larson just outside the 30-metre line. Brisbane getting a marker there. Only just in time. Florimo with the number 11 on his back tonight. Taylor to the 20-metre line. Second man play. He found Butner right on the button. Good pass by Taylor. Down the blind side. And Wilson combines with Nigel Roy. Now they're 8 metres out from the line. Florimo. Taylor. Kieran Walters came up very quickly. Taylor's gone across the field with a big kick. Willie Kahn is with it for Brisbane.
A lot of pressure on that kick there from Jason Taylor. Not very well placed from him. In fact, if anything, it put some pressure back on the North Sydney players to make sure Willie Kahn didn't get a clean take of the ball. Hancock now looking to offload. Wisely decides to just take the tackle.
Peter Ryan pulled down now. Almost on the 40-metre line. What's the story on Billy Moore? Chris Bombolas on the sideline.
Well, it's not good at this stage, Ray. Billy Moore has a hamstring problem. He's in the shed with the doctor and they're working hard, and it might be doubtful that he'll be back tonight.
That'll be a huge blow to North Sydney. Brett Green. Kevin Walters. His brother Kerrod. Kerrod, the bloke with the head closely shaved. It wasn't Michael. 40 metres out from the North Sydney line with Langer. Low and across. Behind Roy. A bit of work for him to do. Will he pick it up or not? Oh, he's taken the gamble.
Yes, he took the gamble and lost. This is the line drop out. Great chase there from Wendell Saylor. Roy there, he's willing it to go over. It didn't. And he had to touch it over.
The ball looked like it was already over the sideline. When he hit the ball, I think he could have almost left that go. No chance that Wendell Saylor was going to get it in the end.
The smartest thing he could have done was, and I know this is easy for us to say, he would have been better off making sure he had a foot on the sideline. Had he have put a foot on the sideline, it would have been out to the 20-metre line for the restart. It's the best way to shadow those balls that give you trouble on the sideline or in that in-goal area. Play by Thorne and away on the left of the ground for Green. Glenn Lazarus, Andrew G, not in this side. No Darren Smith. As they come around the back now for Peter Ryan. And then he links up with Renouf, and Renouf is tackled 8 metres away from the Bears line. Ryan for Kevin Walters, around the back of Alan Langer for Wendell Saylor. Spectacular take. 5 gone. Langer has gone to the left of the park. They've stacked the blind side. Oh, the kick has gone backwards. Chris Johns has got the ball. Wendell Saylor is with it now. It's going across and away. It's back for Kevy Welders. And the Bears have cleaned it up.
Well, Brisbane are at their most dangerous when they're playing ad-lib football. A strong tackle from Ross. And he gets forced back on the goal. This will be a penalty to the North Sydney side. Great defence there from North Sydney to hold out Brisbane. And Chris Caruana trying to get the ball out was taken back in to the in-goal area.
Yeah, Eddie Ward calling held there when Robbie Ross was wrestling with that player. You could almost hear it from up here, and then Walters came in late.
David Fairley unloading for Mark Soden. Soden didn't need that football, not back on his own 30-metre line. There are signs there of North Sydney doing what they did at ANZ Stadium in that match I was talking about. I don't know that that's the way you play semi-finals or quarter-finals. Chancing passes back on your 30-metre line. When the scoreboard says 0-0 and a mile of time. On the last tackle now for Taylor. Caruana holding off Khan with one arm and then giving it to Dallas for the kick down to Saylor. Wendell pulled down and a penalty. It's to Brisbane against North Sydney players being in front of the kicker inside the 10-metre circle.
They took the chance running the ball on the fifth there, and Brett Dallas got a rare use of his kicking game. But unfortunately, all the North chasers inside the 10, and this is a tragedy. They haven't found touch. A bad mistake from Brisbane.
Matt Sears brings it back with a great run. Away now from Soden for Taylor. Oh, the pass is ill-directed. Dallas goes back to clean it up. Held down by Willie Kahn. Gary Larson. No Billy Moore. Hamstring problem for him. Taylor. Florimo. And again, a pass that's given opportunity to Renouf. He's ruled a knock-on against the centre three-quarter.
Well, he's wrong.
Renouf says you're joking.
No, he's held this, that's for sure. Eddie Ward was 20 metres away and didn't see a thing. It's an ordinary pass from Florimo. It goes astray. It's a foot race, Icon up against Renouf. Now there's a juggle. I'm sure he gathers it. Yes, no doubt about it.
Well, that didn't touch the ground.
The crowd venting their feelings in no uncertain terms as Ben Icon plays the ball. Michael Buechner. Florimo. Larson. Peter Ryan peeling off a good tackle. Soden's pass might have gone forward. Larson scoops it away. Wilson's in the play. 6 more tackles. That incident I was talking about came off a Brisbane player. So they've got another 5 tackles remaining. Now they've got 4 remaining. They're 10 metres out from the line. Soden goes over for Taylor to come back. And Wilson to put it on the left foot. A race for the ball. And Saylor is trapped in goal.
He's a very clever player, Craig Wilson. He takes a lot of pressure off Jason Taylor as far as the kicking game is concerned. A nice little kick, albeit only on the 3rd tackle. They still had a couple up their sleeve.
So the opening 10 minutes has seen Brisbane with the best of the game. Now North Sydney, they get a little taste of it.
Well, this is a real test for Brisbane's defence. They turned the ball over with that Willie Kahn penalty kick that failed to go over the touchline. The Steve Renouf mistake. And North have continually had the ball now. This is for the 3rd set of 6.
Soden held on the 30-metre line. Larson realising that he and David Fairley in particular have got to lift a little bit more now with Billy Moore not there. Taylor inside, Soden for Florimo. That's a great tackle. Put it down as a beauty from Chris Johns. Now Taylor running to the line. Caruana flicks it out for Dallas. And Dallas is forced down and back. And the crowd roars. Away from Wilson for Taylor. To the 20. The high kick goes across. They're all onside. Down it comes, and it's with Butner. 6 more tackles, says Ward. Now Aiken across. Taylor gets it away. That is so close for Caruana. Taylor Wilson behind Fairley for Florimo. Butner! Michael Butner! He scores the first try.
And weighted possession early, going North Sydney's way. As Gary said, that's the third set of 6 they've had the football. Actually the fourth, because they got the ball back again from the kick. And Brisbane, you can see around the play the ball there. And not enough numbers out wide. Not enough defenders. Michael Butner did well, but Wendell Sailor, he just couldn't handle it.
Well, Butner here's got 2 players against 1. Florimo draws his man, leaves him with that space on the outside. Butner could have almost passed to Roy, but he saw Sailor was sliding out. Did a good job to finish it off.
So the weight of possession eventually caught up with the Broncos. Sailor was up there above them. It definitely came off him. That restarted the tackle count. So, arguably the best goal kicker in the game. Jason Taylor. Attempting conversion from 9 metres in from touch. In front of the members stand. Hits it. Kept it low, kept it on line, and a further 2 points to the Bears. They lead 6-0 over Brisbane after 14 minutes. A penalty from the restart in play. Now it's a scrum. From the restart, the ball marked by Mark Soden, and he gave a forward pass to Gary Larson. And the scrum won by Brisbane, and they're inside the 20-metre line for Willie Kahn. A terrible mistake for them to make. Sailor, 3 metres out from the line. From Karen Walters, a long ball, finding Alan Langer, and now Shane Webke. He's ready to run through anything tonight, Webke. There's the line. They come back for Langer. Infield pass for Hancock. Hancock smothered away by Taylor over the top. Now to the right for Langer. And a bit off the hand backwards. And it's with Sailor. And Wendell is put over the sideline.
Well, I'm sure Wendell had the opportunity to come back into the field then. He sort of stayed there. He didn't try to beat the man. And it was easy meat for the North Sydney defence, so that's a let-off for the North Sydney Bears after that mistake made earlier.
Well, that was the restart of the match from the kick-off. And I must say to you that I'm surprised that a penalty wasn't given. A player throwing a ball forward to a player who's obviously offside, to me, brings a penalty. He went with the scrum option, which most of them do.
The Bears not going really that far forward here. Florimo tries his hand. He's almost back to where they played it. That's the 4th tackle, and they haven't reached the 30-metre line yet.
Steve Trindle. Tackle 5 on the 30-metre line. Kick hasn't got a lot of depth in it. Hancock bringing it back. Mark Soden has tried to tackle him a couple of times, and Hancock has treated him with disdain. Renoff. Getting more involved tonight, Steve Renoff. He's a player that you've almost got to make him get involved. Green on the halfway line. And then from Kerrod Walters back into the hands of Brad Thorne. That's the 40-metre line. There's the white shot. That's where they are. And then Langer, and then a mistake, and Larson has got it. out wide. This was the mistake. Kevin Walters was travelling at speed. As North Sydney crossed the halfway line now with David Fairley. Green and Webke making the tackle. Then from Taylor. The run around is on with Wilson. Taylor picked up in defence by Peter Ryan, who makes sure that Taylor is the last one to get up. Wilson puts the kick in. The bounce is favourable for Robbie Ross. Able to get it away. Saylor on the bounce.
And now the penalty goes to the Brisbane Broncos. A very ordinary kick there from Craig Wilson. Just nothing on it at all. And Brisbane quite easily make another 20 metres in the running with Wendell Saylor threatening to burst through at any moment now.
North Sydney sending Brenton Pomeroy into the game. Craig Wilson coming off. And the ball again, I thought was lost by Brisbane, but in fact the second ball got onto the ground.
Very important for Brisbane here to put a good solid set of 6 together. If they don't score, at least get a kick in on the last. The last 2 times they've had it, they've made mistakes. And in semi-final football, it's often the difference. Already that's why the Bears are leading on the scoreboard.
Renoff. Ah, great take by Saylor. Diving with the right hand outstretched and then feeling the brunt of the North Sydney defence. Karen Walters finding Langer. Langer drifting back towards the play the ball. 20 minutes gone. Kevin Walters. Now the last. Langer. Little kick off the right foot. There's a Bronco down in back play. Matt Sears tries to get it back, but he can't. Touch judge is in.
Be interesting to see what the decision is here. One of the Broncos chasing through was taken out. Robbie Ross it was, in fact. Now, he wouldn't have got to the ball before Matt Sears. So you'd expect only a penalty to come in here, perhaps 10 minutes in the bin.
Yeah, look, I don't know there's much in that, actually. Jason Taylor, he sort of turned to chase back, and I thought that Ross ran into him. Quick tap taken by Langer.
And the Broncos looking for 6, as they pretty well always do. Langer put down by Fairley. Now from Ross with Walters. Khan, danger. Couple of very meaningful tackles by North Sydney. Kevin Walters wide for Robbie Ross. Arms free, the ball loose. Chris Johns knocks on. And then it's offside against the Broncos. Well, Shane Webke was offside. And the penalty goes on the 10-metre line to the Bears.
This is a pretty ordinary passage of play from the Broncos. The few times they've had the football down in North's territory, they've really done not much with it. They seem to be running the wrong angles tonight. Times where they should be hitting the ball straight and hard, they're sort of running sideways, crabwise, and crowding each other, especially out wide. Another penalty now to North Sydney.
The Bears' defence is putting a lot of pressure on Brisbane. They're sliding out very well. As Phil Gould said earlier on, their big men on the inside are covering their backs and giving them the confidence to slide out wide on the quick point, the quick Brisbane centres, and they're doing it well.
Number 18 is Josh Stewart. 14 is Brendan Pomeroy. Now they're only 8 metres out from the line as they go to the right of the ground for Larson to work with Soden, and Chris Johns peels off another beauty. Carawan. Stewart. Soden. Taylor. Butner. Fairley. Peter Ryan coming over the top. Taylor. Florimo. And Michael Hancock's made a mistake. Floromo's put it down. I think it's a try. It is. It's a try to North Sydney. I think it's Floromo, although Caruana seems to be taking the raps.
Well-placed kick here, splitting the fullback and the winger. Ross and Hancock, a little bit of indecision. Now let's watch if Hancock gets his hand on the ball now. Well, he claims he did, but maybe he didn't force it cleanly.
Yeah, Robbie Ross and Hancock going for the football. Now Ross hangs off, so Hancock's obviously called it. He never really had it covered. He was going far too fast. Now I reckon he's grounded that.
I believe he's got some downward pressure on it with the fingertips.
No doubt about it.
Well, the in-goal judge was only metres away. Couldn't have been in a better position. I can only think he believes Hancock, the ball was in the air when Hancock forced it down.
Well, all you got to do is exert some downward pressure on the ball. And that replay picture suggests that Michael Hancock did that. So Jason Taylor to convert the Greg Floromo try. It's just over the crossbar. And the Bears are leading Brisbane 12 points to 0 now. Brought back by Gary Larson. Pomery winding it up. Soda. Peter Ryan making a lot of tackles. In fact, he is leading the tackle count easily, Peter Ryan. He's already made 14. Soda back on the left of the ground for Stewart. Taylor's kick, fielded by Saylor. This is Ross. And Bennett has made a couple of more changes. Tony Carroll is with the ball now.
And Carroll coming on in the forwards. That's been forced on Wayne Bennett with Lazarus and G missing. Carroll can play pretty well in the second row and will need to. Walters is away.
Backed up and supported. Brisbane with Steele Retchless only about 3 metres from the line. Ross and then Walters, then Langer, and the little bloke is over. Alfie Langer is in to score. Oh, what a break by Kevin Walters. And what support play by Steele Retchless.
Yeah, it came from nothing. Simple take up of the football from Kevin Walters. Langer gets the try a couple of tackles later. There it is there. Some ordinary defence there from Craig Wilson. He drew the fullback. Now Steele Retchless, he's a back rower. He's only been on about 15 seconds, so his muscles will be pretty tight. He did well, good quick play of the ball. And from here you can see the Bears always struggling for numbers in defence. Couldn't get there. Langer just dies for it.
Yeah, Steele Retchless did the right thing here. After Walters made the bust, given it onto Alan Langer, but Retchless didn't do anything silly, just took the tackle near the line. And that's allowed the little fella to go over. Kevin Walters has got his side back into the game.
So a superb try laid on by Kevin Walters. He set himself to run through the gap. Some ordinary tackles, and then Steele Retchless. He puts some backbone into it before Brisbane's #1 rugby league son put it down for a try to bring them back.
You just can't go to sleep on them, can you? North Sydney looking 12-0, that nice comfortable lead, the defending in the Broncos half, and Wooska.
So Willie Carr just outside the 20-metre line. He's 27 metres in from touch, and he's got it. A few of the Brisbane Broncos, they stop breathing for a moment. There's the score, 12-6, the Bears. The kick-off by Wendell Saylor. And 28 is Retchless. 12-6. The Bears over the Broncos. Webke.
My word, he's turning into a very good rugby league forward. Shane Webke's taken over where Glenn Lazarus has left off tonight. They go wide through Renoff.
Renoff stampeding his way down the ground and then tried to squeeze the pass.
Starting to look very dangerous now, getting their act together, Brisbane. I actually thought maybe that had come off a North Sydney player, but Ward thought differently. Gets rid of Benny Eichen easily, then gets through the tackles and tries to offload. I reckon it might have come off Nigel Roy's arm.
No, he's gone back to the forward pass or the knock-on by Renoff. He's got to play the first breach. No, he's got it right, and you will find that North Sydney will have the feed and the loose head. 35 out from their own line. Something involving Josh Stewart there that necessitated Ward calling him out, and the captain. And Eddie Ward telling them to keep their feet out of the tunnel. North's locking it in there for a split second, trying to draw a penalty. Sears goes across quickly. Caruana on for Dallas. Oh, there's a great competition over there. Dallas and Hancock.
Oh, beautiful work. Hancock there trailing his man, but Matt Sears did some great work from this scrum to get on the outside of Ross, give his team an overlap. Good work. Caruana just draws his man, but Hancock on the slide stays with Dallas and throws him over the sideline.
How strong is he? And he would derive a lot of delight out of that, lining Brett Dallas tonight. A lot of personal stuff in that for Michael Hancock. This is Webke again. The ball is down. He's hurt. Penalty is gone for raking it out, but the man is down and injured.
This is Webke's 9th hit up of the night, leading the way by far in that department. Hit the ground quite heavily.
I don't know whether I agree with the ruling of the penalty. Webke was semi-conscious and is still down, semi-conscious, and the ball came out. I know it looks suspicious, but it's back with North Sydney now.
Our first tackle turnover, Peter Ryan making a mistake. From the tap, restart, and the pressure's all off the Bears as they hit the 50-metre line.
David Fairley acting as a link. Florimo, Sears. Oh, Sailors come up with the ball. North Sydney trying to keep it floating, almost paying the supreme penalty. 16 is Carroll. Green goes back on. Webke comes off. Walters scheming and probing, jinking. Wonderful player. Put the first try together with this man, Langer. Retchless. Talking of Langer, of course, his combination or his confrontation with Taylor tonight, that would be laced with a fair bit of personal conflict. Here's a chance. No, it's not. Brett Dallas was as cool as a cucumber underneath it.
With that kick there from Alan Langer, probably not quite high enough for Hancock to have a chance. Brett Dallas knew he had time. A great take from him at the back.
Half-time then, about 7 minutes out. Gary Larson. Soden turning it back into the centre. And I think that is Stewart. It was. Taylor's kick doing a little left-hand turn and finding the line. The mandatory 10-metre scrum will pack Brisbane to have the loose head and feed. We're down on the scoreboard end of the ground at Suncorp Stadium.
It's been a good forward battle out there tonight. Gary Larson in particular for North Sydney's done a ton of work. David Fairley's been a little bit quieter. We're used to seeing David Fairley work off Buettner and Taylor out wide, but not so much of that tonight. Saylor takes it up.
Hard to estimate the crowds here these days, as Renouf can't take it under pressure, and the Bears get another chance in front of half-time.
But what a bad pass. A hospital job, that one.
Soden pulled down by John Plath.
Kevin Walters there just delaying it late, but Renouf had a defender on him as soon as he got it.
Now David Fairley. Brisbane turning possession over on the first tackle. Twice from memory in the last 5. Florimo away from Buettner. Floating pass to Aiken. Was it knocked backwards? Sears is put over the sideline.
Oh, poor old young Benny Aiken's having a horror night tonight with his hands. That's twice. He would have been in the clear, and he's dropped it both times. He also missed a tackle on Renouf early, which could have proved danger. Florimo's having a blinder. He's carving them up. Here it is here. If he catches it, who knows what would have happened. He had Roy on the outside unmarked.
The face of Ben Aiken as the Broncos win the scrum back close to their own line. But they've got to stop turning possession over.
Well, the other thing that North Sydney are doing well is pulling defenders in close to the ruck and creating space, particularly down there, that left-hand side, where Wendell Saylor has found himself, well, with 2 or 3 defenders against him. A number of times he's had to come in, and luckily then that scramble helped save them from having a try scored against them.
3 tries then in the first half, which has got 4 minutes to run. Green and Langer working in close proximity. Kevin Walters up to the halfway. That's off the feet. That's play on. That was Lockyer. And into touch.
Yeah, it was play on, but they got a bad bounce. Those little short passes. When the boys, Langer and Walters, get together with the short passing game, it's always danger. It came off their feet. But, couldn't be gathered in time.
I was about to make the comment. 3 tries in the first half. 2 to North Sydney, 1 to Brisbane. And one of the North Sydney tries, replay suggesting it was no try. It'll be interesting to hear what the in-goal judge has to say. Nigel Roy was out on his own son. Nobody getting near him. Now a penalty goes to the Bears.
For a second tackle by Darren Lockyer. They kicked for touch. I thought Taylor might have had a shot at goal, but they want to keep them in their own quarter in defence.
Pommery driven into the ground, 12 metres out. The Bears with a big line to the right. Oh, Larson!
That's Chris Johns again. 3 of those beauties he's pulled off tonight on the left-hand side of defence. But there's some trouble out wide for Brisbane.
Oh, fairly magnificent. Then Taylor after Buettner and handled, and Hancock smashes him into the ground. Then it comes away for Buettner. He rolls it in, and they put a shadow over it. Oh, they want a pass in goal. It's gone dead eventually.
Oh, that last pass from Wendell Saylor, in fact, came off a North player. It could have been the easiest of tries in the end. Robbie Ross, he's done this before, taken the gamble to give it to Saylor, and just watch Saylor pop it out. Or maybe it was forced out of his arms.
Well, you're the skills coach down there, Gary. What are you teaching him these things, or what?
Oh, no, Paddy. Didn't teach him that one. But Robbie Ross, well, he's a confident young player. I wouldn't doubt that he tried again if he thought it was on.
Just working back to that incident in goal, Gary's right. The last player that had touched was a North Sydney player. But Eddie Ward had already ruled. That Brisbane had been held up in goal and ordered the line drop out. That's the only way one can decipher what happened there. Pomeroy playing it now, 20 metres out. Half-time was about 70 seconds away. Taylor with the drop goal. It looks okay. The arm goes up. It's a point.
Somebody once said if you go down there, don't come back empty. 13-6 the Bears.
Well, he's probably the best drop goal exponent in the game today, Jason Taylor. He never misses, whether it's a shot at goal or a drop goal. Here he is from 30 metres out, just to the right of the sticks. And he turned his back straight away, ran back into his own half.
Well, it was very well set up. He had protection from 3 or 4 of his forwards. And a lot of time to put that over and take his time.
So the restart, the last of the first half. And we have had excitement from the time they kicked off. It hasn't been a polished performance by Brisbane. But there's been some beautiful stuff put together. The tackling of Chris Johns has been a feature. It's been the sensations in the game, the controversy of a try, and there's the siren. So we go to the break with North Sydney leading Brisbane 13 points to 6, 2 tries to 1, and there's one of the stars of the first half. Here's a break. We're coming back to Suncorp in just a moment.
Brisbane came into this match at Suncorp Stadium, long odds on, but things not really going in favour of them at this stage. They're down 13 points to 6 at the hands of North Sydney, and as we look at the stats, we can see why. Plenty of errors there. Go straight down to the bottom. 9 handling errors, that's far too many, and 15 missed tackles. Norths have had all the ball, things going well for them. The kicking game has been good from Jason Taylor, and the missed tackles not too bad there with 10, and they're controlling the football pretty well. Well, Gary Belcher, Brisbane not going too well. How have you seen their performance?
Well, we're worried about their inexperienced players, but they're doing a good job up front. Brad Thorne, Shane Webke in particular, but it's been the senior players that have come up with some uncharacteristic errors that have really put them under a lot of pressure. The first try, in fact, came from that. They didn't kick the ball out, they dropped a bomb, made a mistake with the ball, and eventually Norths just waited possession, saw them with an overlap out wide. Wendell Saylor was caught out, he had 2 men to mark, and Michael Buettner forced his way over near the corner. And all the pressure came from the Bears.
And it wasn't long after that Greg Florimo, I think, has been just about being North's best player, put in a kick, and up came the second North Sydney try.
Well, there is still some doubt about this kick, but there wasn't the little grubber through, but there was a bit of mix-up at the back. Robbie Ross left it for Michael Hancock, who fumbled it. He thinks he forced it. I tend to agree. There is some downward motion there. Maybe not enough control for the referee's liking, but the Bears did get their second try.
No doubt about it for mine, Gary. He grounded that, no doubt about it at all. But soon after that, North Sydney, they've gone to sleep inside the Broncos' half, and the Broncos came up with a 55-metre try.
Well, it happened almost straight away. Kevy Walters was the man, in fact, that set it up early with Steele Retchus, a big runaway. Walters got involved again from the play the ball, and the little fella, the captain, Alfie Langer, forced his way over. And Willie Kahn was able to convert.
There's been some great defence in this half, none more so than Chris Johns. He's pulled off some real bone rattlers, hasn't he?
Well, he's really led the way, and I think he can feel that they need something tough out wide. And from this side of the paddock, 3 times he's cut off some good attacking raids from North with some real great hits, and he is doing a good job up front.
Well, he's not used to playing in the forwards, but lock forward could have been his go for all his career. He's winding down his career and hoping to go out on a good night. Well, of course, it's all happening tomorrow. The Sunday footy show is on as usual. At midday, plenty of guests. There's a mile of them. Gary Freeman, Fennick, Goddard. There's a cast of thousands live from the Sydney Football Stadium, Sunday 12 noon. And then, of course, after that, Sunday afternoon, Manly up against Sydney City. 1 playing for the minor premiers in action at last over the weekend. Sydney and Brisbane at 5 p.m. The action continues live 11:30 next Saturday. Erindale College, the final of the Commonwealth Bank Cup, up against John Paul Too High.
To Suncorp Stadium, we're watching the third quarter final of the Qantas final series of the Optus Cup, and a very good crowd is in at Suncorp. Probably not as big a crowd as they may have budgeted for, but in the area of, I suppose, 28,000, I'd say. Repeating that scoreboard, it's 13 points to 6 at halftime in favour of North Sydney with 2 tries against 1 try. And Chris Bombolas has been to the dressing rooms. Chris, what can you report?
Well, there's no panic in the Brisbane dressing room, Ray, even though they're down by 7 points with 40 minutes to go. Wayne Bennett was disappointed with their handling errors. He says there's far too much drop ball. They need to lift that. He's happy with their defence and he's happy with their commitment. They just need to lift it up a notch. Peter Louis, understandably, is pretty happy with the way the Bears are going. They're in front, he says. All they need to do is maintain it for the next 40 minutes and put the pressure on Brisbane to score a couple of tries. tries, and, well, we'll see what Brisbane can do.
All right, Chris, thank you. As we wait for the players to come back, the forwards work rate.
Yeah, Peter Ryan leading the way. The lock forward with 16 tackles. I'm sure he'd like to get a bit more involved in the hit-up department. Shane Webke, 9 and 9, a very solid effort from him tonight. And he's not on there, but Wendell Saylor has actually made 12 tackles, and most of them cover defending ones. So the Brisbane front line not going too well. North Sydney, well, they've had plenty of hard workers as well. Gary Larson, it gets boring, doesn't it, seeing him at the top of the tree there with 14 tackles, 11 hit-ups. Greg Florimo, he's been, I think, their best forward. Those 10 hit-ups, most of them good quality ones with some offloads involved.
Well, here they are coming back now, the Broncos. Gary Belcher, of course, is part of the Broncos coaching staff. What would be the reaction? I know Chris Bombolas has filed the report. What sort of mannerisms would be exhibited in a situation like that from Wayne Bennett?
Well, I don't think you'd have to say too much, maybe some little individual things, but certainly the players that we just said are making the errors are the senior players, and they know what's required of them. They know they have to tighten it up, not push the pass too much, just try to get some continuity to their play. I think there's almost a little bit of panic about their play early. The crowd was up every time they looked like making half a break, and some of them, I think, just reacted to that and threw some silly passes. Really, they just need to put some pressure on. The bus will come with the likes of Langer and Walters leading the way.
So this is game 3 of 4 quarterfinals. Josh Stewart with his own fan club. Cronulla has advanced. Today, St George advanced. Who is it going to be here? Well, of course, this is not sudden death tonight. The losers go back to meet the winners of last night and today. The loser of this, in fact, will play Cronulla. Start of the second half. Brisbane right to left. 13-6, the Bears over the Broncos. They met in round 10 at ANZ, and the Bears went home with victory that day. And this match has got a lot of similarity about it. North's got in front. They made Brisbane play catch-ups. It was 16-10 at full time. Soden then coming away from dummy half and squeezing that kick down towards the 20-metre line, where Robbie Ross is ringed by the North Sydney forwards. Fairley's having a big game. Willie Kahn comes in from the centres to take a run.
It's not a big kick, that Soden dummy half kick, but what it does have is the advantage of all the players, is his players being onside and able to put a lot more pressure on the fullback bringing it back. Third tackle, and they haven't yet hit the halfway line, Brisbane.
Still no sign of Billy Moore. He was on for a fleeting moment. Hamstring, and Chris Bombolas said he didn't think he'd be coming on to the game anymore. We might do an update on that. Nigel Roy. He's had a very good year, this winger. Formerly with Illawarra. Matthew Sears. Brett Dallas, who's having a great combat over there with Michael Hancock. And I think Michael might be just in front on points in that battle. That is Chris Caruana. And that's the halfway line disappearing behind them. The ball rolling over the sideline, 15 metres away from the Brisbane line. Billy Moore still with the jumper on. What's the latest, Chris? Have you got an update on Billy Moore?
I have indeed. The degree of the injury isn't known as yet. We'll know that in the next 24 to 48 hours. But Billy Moore won't be joining the game again tonight, Ray. They're going to give him a rest, even though he's still got the gear on. But he won't be rejoining us unless the Bears are in diabolical trouble.
Khan then, coming away over the 20-metre line. Billy Khan exhibiting his versatility again tonight. Steele Retchless met and forced down. Kevin Walters. Players to choose from. Kerry. Green. Langer's gone back to the blind side. Sears returns the ball beautifully, Matt Sears. Roy. A very careful start to the second half.
Yeah, from both sides. I've got no doubt Brisbane are missing Glenn Lazarus. He's the best prop in the game. And what they're missing about his particular game is as they go wide through Florimo, he's burst up the middle, but he's quick play the balls. He always takes 2 and 3 players with him, and they're really missing at the Brisbane side.
Yeah, I'm interested to see whether the Bears are trying to slow this game down in the second half. They played it at a frantic pace along with Brisbane in the first section. Taylor now kicking out wide. In fact, he's found Dallas.
Oh, what a magnificent take! Touch judges said play on. Michael Butner flicks it in. They're going to score. No, he's called it back. He's called it back forward off Butner.
Well, what about the Taylor to Dallas combination? A beautiful kick. Dallas got it on the fly. Magnificent stuff, this. The winger had dropped back Hancock. The Dallas throws it back inside. That pass is okay. That one doesn't go forward. Yes, no doubt about it.
Kevin Walters there.
Well, if that pass had gone back and then bounced forward, Ray, play on it would have been and a North Sydney try, as you were ready to call it.
Absolutely, Gary. A ball passed backwards that bounces forward is play on. A ball that is passed backwards that is blown forward is play on. Now Brisbane with Lang. Plenty of quality about the kick. It's got some depth in it. Dallas has got some work to do. Hancock is sweating on him like a big eagle hawk.
Yeah, good on you, Mick. Great chase. Nice kick from Langer. But a kick's only as good as the chase, and Hancock took it on his own to get down there and really hammer Brett Dallas. That's inspirational stuff from Michael Hancock.
I'm loving this battle between the wingers on this side, the number 2s. Taylor tonight, Gary, is taking the ball to the line more and more often.
It puts a lot of pressure on the defence, doesn't it? When he does that, the outside defenders have to stay on his men, and that's when they come up with that second man play so often, or the face ball, the ball passed across one of his support players to another, and if the defenders don't come up and stay on the North Sydney players, they will be in a hole.
Green. Now from Kerrod for Retchless. Larson is starting to extend now. He's working hard, Larson. Pulling off some big tackles that are counting. Langer. 15 outs. Kerrod Walters. 5 gone. Langer's the player. He's on the left. Kevin takes it himself. It's a penalty to the Bears for double movement.
Well, that ball should have come left. Alan Langer had 3 men on his outside. The Bears weren't numbering up in defence, and Kevin went to the right-hand side to try and have a go himself. No doubt about it. Wood's got that right. Double movement.
You reckon that's a double movement? It's the most obvious one I've seen in a long while. Kevin Walters, you're right, Fatty. Should have passed it to the left. They had men over.
David Fairley. It's his 9th hit up in the game. With 15 tackles. That is Trindle, put down heavily by Thorne. Taylor coming from the left to work on the right, turning it up the centre. Icon kicks ahead, and Hancock, he falls over, he takes it in, he loses it, Brisbane lose it, now they've got it back again. Oh boy, oh boy.
it's all happening, Bill. And now a penalty goes to the North Sydney side. Aikens on the charge. Beautiful runner of the football, the little kick. They go wide from the tap.
Yeah, Willie Kahn, in fact, was offside when he tried to clean up that Michael Hancock play, so they should have got the penalty early. Here's Trindle now, hitting it up on the left, stretching the Brisbane defence. They look like they're going to the left again.
Soden and Wilson. Soden handling again, and then Wilson again. 15 out from the line. Aikens pass for Taylor. Then for Florimo. Florimo looking to get it out. The Bears leading by 7. Buettner puts it in behind them. Hancock has managed to get it over the dead ball line.
Oh, he didn't get a clean hit on that one either, Michael Hancock. Shadowing the ball back. Beautiful little kick from Buettner. A lot of pressure on. He's still, while he almost misses it, there was some pressure downwards before it went over the line.
Willie Kahn's drop out. Landing on the 40-metre line. Back goes Fairley. Great atmosphere here. The North Sydney Bears. The Brisbane Broncos. Broncos joined the comp in 1988. They've won 2 flags. The Bears have been here since 1908 for 1. Now they come across to the right for Caruana. And Chris will play it. 7 metres away. Dallas on. Trindle over. Taylor's with it. Cut out ball. Soden. Soden gets it away. And he's in again. Buettner! Buettner has done it again.
Well, Norths are outplaying Brisbane tonight, no doubt about it. They're playing a great game, doing everything right. No mistakes. And this is fantastic football from Mark Soden. He's a former halfback. He's got some speed. He gets through the gap. Ineffective defence. And Michael Buettner just hits the ball up, and that's an easy one for him.
You mentioned earlier, Ray, Jason Taylor going to the line. He went forward and pulled 3 defenders in before he threw that cutout ball to Soden. And what a great pass around the corner that was from the little fella. But Taylor was the man that created a bit of space on the outside for Buettner.
Well, we've talked about this youngster, Michael Buettner, and how his career has blossomed with the change of club from Parramatta to North Sydney. And that is not meant to be a criticism of his coaching staff at Parramatta. But that old saying, a change is as good as a holiday. It's work for Michael Buettner. Jason Taylor. He can make it 19-6. He hits it perfectly. Now the margin is 15. Correction, 30 as we go to a break.
Introducing the mighty Mitsubishi Techno Trucks. Canter, the big truck that's made small. FK, the tough truck that's now tougher. And FM, the biggest and strongest of them all. Yet inside, they're as comfortable as they come, with more power than before and as accessible as ever. They command respect.
Available now from K&J Trucks, Pacific Highway, Coffs Harbour South.
Larson brings it back. 19 minus 6. Let's get that right. 13.
Well, you want to get my shoes and socks off and count my fingers and toes wraps.
Turn. It's embarrassing enough. Primary school at uni, I still can't count.
Must have been good teachers down there.
Slorham. They had the same teachers as Laurie Daly.
Great people in junior. Love yous.
Robbie Ross. This is going to take one hell of an effort now, Gary Belcher.
Well, it is. Brisbane really need to get some points on the board soon. I'm stating the obvious there, but they haven't put a lot of pressure on the Bears in this second half. Saylor now takes it upon himself with a crossfield run, and that almost floated forward, but Hancock with some space.
Hancock eventually wrestled down by Craig Wilson. Langer, 15 metres out from the line. 53 minutes gone. No time like the present to come back. Renoff tied up by Aiken. Walters, long pass, finding Langer. Langer with a little kick. The Bears had one go at it. Eventually they clean it up.
And the crowd calling for a North's knock on. But Eddie Wood right on the spot. What a run by Wendell Saylor. He ran 70 metres to set up Michael Hancock. And this is the tail end of it. No knock on there.
Straight through the legs of Matt Sears to the keeper, Jason Taylor. I think he got it right. We are just outside the 20-metre line, north end of the park. Trindle is underneath there. The kick. Attempted charge down by Kerrod Walters, but Taylor's kick is a monster. Saylor has been back on his own 10-metre line. He's now wrestled and surged down to the 30-metre line. Good effort by the big fellow. This is Lockyer now. Langer to the halfway. Kevin Walters supports, and now it's Darren Lockyer. Lockyer's on his way. It's Robbie Ross. Robbie Ross it is, and Robbie Ross scores. So Brisbane are coming back again.
Oh, Langer. He's done it again, Alf. But what about Wendell Saylor? Another great run from Wendell. Good support from Kevin Walters. Langer got the arms free. And a great ball, well timed from Kevin Walters, and Robbie Ross showed them a clean pair.
Well, haven't they really put their hand up when they've been needed, Langer and Kevin Walters?
Well, they're the men you'd expect to, aren't they? They've been in a couple of crises tonight, and Langer and Walters have come up trumps again. Ross threw his hand up in the air as soon as Walters had it. He knew he had some open space in front of him, and didn't he put the pedal down?
Former Newcastle Knights having a great season with the Broncos.
I just reckon those couple of runs from Wendell Saylor sparked the rest of the Broncos into action. You know, if they could all play with the same enthusiasm that he's playing with, they'd be in front, but it hasn't been the case tonight.
So Willie Kahn has got one of the simpler kicks. And he converts. 19-12. The Bears over the Broncos.
Magnum. It's bliss. Pure luxury. My special moment. I'm in a world of my own. That first bite.
I have to have one now.
Oh, the chocolate cracks.
My heart melts.
Nothing compares to Magnum.
Perfection.
Ecstasy.
Passionate.
I felt reckless, really reckless.
And now new Honey New Gum Magnum.
Yeah, I'm hooked.
Taylor's kickoff. Tony Carroll. Good quick play the ball by Carroll. Has carried Walters down to the 40-metre line now for Willie Kahn. Kerrod again. Why not? It's working for him. Ah, that looked like a knock-on. It's been called.
Well, Kevin Walters thinks maybe a knockback, but it has been called. He wasn't expecting it. It went past Green. It looks like he overran it. It was touch and go. Kevin now packing in at lock, in fact.
Bears using Icon. Sears promoting for Florimo to give it back for Brett Dallas. He's been well marked. And yet again, Michael Hancock was waiting for him. Then for Taylor. Now for Fairley. 32 metres out. Soden comes back. That's Brenton Pomeroy. Not held. Now he is. 20-metre line. Florimo turning it back in the middle for Sears and across for Pomeroy and then for Fairley and Taylor. And Taylor for Butner. Butner put down. 15 metres out from the line. Taylor, short ball. Caravana kicks for the winger, but it's too deep. It'll come back to the 20 for the restart.
Well, they tried to put some pressure on with that last kick, but it normally would have come from Taylor. He elected to pass, and hence Brisbane, the pressure all off now, trying to get some yards forward. They need the likes of Carroll once again with one of those runs. He's lining up on the short side.
Green. Larson and Fairley wrapping their clutches around him. Ooh, Johnny Plath got a ball that he wasn't expecting. Langer wants it. Kevin's with him. Walters put down. 40-metre line. North's end. Kevin Walters, Alan Langer. They combine again. Langer puts a cross kick, rubbing back in.
Here's a chance. Oh, it's been saved by Matt Sears. But the rehearsal was beautiful. The execution was grand. But it didn't quite come off.
He was onside too, Peter Ryan. Anyone else bar Peter Ryan, a Steve Brenoff, a Robbie Ross, this is a try. Ryan ran as fast as he could, but just could not get there.
Bit of time wasting attempted maybe at the back from the Bears. Eddie Ward, in fact, has called time off.
Taylor's drop kick. You'd almost think that it had some wind assistance, but that's Jason Taylor. Very strong kicking leg. Certainly one of the pluses for the Bears over Brisbane. Langer unloading quickly. Kevin Walters.
Great fend, but he's just lost his footing.
He's 11 metres out. His brother. And then for Lockyer. And now for Langer.
Langer! Oh, Alfie! You are a magician! The Brisbane crowd, they love him. And he's brought them back again. Who said Lazarus wasn't here?
Oh, it's the Alan Langer show for Brisbane tonight. He's just doing everything. This is just, you know, you can't possibly score a try here. But he does. He beats a prop, beats the other prop in Larson with a fend, and just strides over the line. Easy.
Just look at the number 10, Steve Trindle. He was just beaten. Not even a chance of coming back and trying to get Langer. Wrong-footed totally. And slicing through where not many other players could have done it. Two today. Two very important tries from Alan Langer.
Well, how good is he? Is he the best player in the world?
He's the best player in the game today, no doubt about it. He's got everything. And he's a good bloke to go with it, good temperament on the football field and off. I say Kerry Walters is doing some great work from dummy half. He's really starting to carve North Sydney up the middle with some good 10-metre, 15-metre runs. He's getting them going forward.
So Willie Carr is averaging out at 65% with his kicking duties. And this to bring them to 1 point in arrears. Oh, he's hit it sloppily.
So the margin is 3 at the 63rd.
When you have to be on the go, you need the bold, rich taste of dare. You can do anything with dare. Dare in dark Jamaican chocolate.
Ozcraft Aluminium Fabrications Foster for custom-made aluminium fences, gates, balustrades, pool fences, all professionally made, all welded construction. Call 546992 for jobs large or small and features galore. Ozcraft Aluminium Fabrications, Loftus Place, Foster.
Sailor bringing it back. 1916. North Sydney over Brisbane. First one, then the other.
They're getting a good roll on once again. You'd expect a message would have come out to the Bears to slow the ball down. That's been one of the differences in the last few minutes with the Broncos' comeback. They're getting quick play the balls and really lifting the speed of the game up.
Retchless put down on the halfway line. Karen Walters probing from dummy half. That's where they're making the yardage as the big forwards find themselves at marker. The bounce is important, and Dallas is cleaned up by Carroll.
He was crunched there by Tony Carroll, a noted defender. Good with the right shoulder. Sears now almost bursting through.
Nigel Roy. Sailor and Renoff defending on the right. Taylor's kick. Hancock. Held by Caruana and Dallas and Buettner. Langer. Long pass to the centre of the ground for Khan. Ryan up the centre. 3 points the difference. Well, did he have a marker? Yes, he did. And Ward penalises. Taylor will take a shot, will he?
That's unbelievable from Peter Ryan. I reckon all he could see in front of him was red and white and black, and he still took the tap forward. Let's see. Does Pomeroy mark up in time? Of course he does.
Well, he gets there, but look, I always contend if there's any doubt, just play the ball backwards. You're not really going to get too far.
Oh, even if there's a 1% doubt.
Exactly.
You don't do it, just play the ball, and away you go. They were getting a good roll on.
I said it last night. I didn't think it was possible we could have a quarter-final series to equal last year. And last night was just so thrilling. Today went right to the wire. And now tonight is going to do the same. Maybe the brand of football hasn't been as the coaches would like. But it's been nail-biting stuff. Taylor from 38, it's coming around beautifully. The flags go up. And Taylor puts another 2 on the board to put the Bears 5 in front.
He's got his eye in Taylor, hasn't he? I reckon he hits that ball with a bit of a draw on it every time. Brings it back around.
Swings it from inside to out.
A bit like your golf game, Rabs.
David Fairley has been a tower for the Bears tonight. Trundle. I wonder what's going through Billy Moore's mind down there on the bench. You know him, Paul, as well as anybody.
Oh, he'd be filthy. He's not out there. He only lasted about a minute in the match, and he just loves his football. He was a big match player too, Billy Moore. He could have really helped North Sydney tonight. But he'll be hoping to get another chance next week or in a couple of weeks' time. And actually, if North win this game, they'll get their next game.
Taylor now driving it into the corner. Robbie Ross.
Steele Retchless, in fact, going off the field. He's been injured in back play. Brett Green coming back onto the field. They're going out wide, looking for something. Langer's there. Well, he's monstered. There's Caruana and Trindle.
Kevin Walters switching the play. Carroll forced down again by a defender having a second bite of the cherry, and rightly Eddie Ward penalises. 11.5 minutes remaining. North Sydney by 5. This man, oh, what a tackle by Florimo, but I was about to make the comment. Kerrod Walters has given them some go forward. Thorne, 31 out. Now Langer wants it. Then his partner in crime. Now Robbie Ross. Now they regroup on the left of the park. Langer, the little general. Renoff. 5 gone. Langer's on the right. Will it be the cross kick? No, it's the grubber. It came off a bear, and they've got it back. North Sydney's number 15, Danny Williams, has got it back, and Nigel Roy clears it. Taylor. Craig Wilson. Caruana Dallas. Near enough to the halfway line. Taylor runs to the line, and then Fairley. Caruana and Taylor. A cutout ball on Sears. It finds Wilson. 5 gone. I wonder would Jason be thinking of the long-range drop attempt. He did go for it. It came off a Bronco, came back to the Bears, but it's a penalty.
Well, Eddie Ward waited for a moment there, perhaps to get a call. He's indicated it may have come off the back of a North Sydney player. I, in fact, thought that was play on.
Oh, beautiful one-handed pass away, but it's forward. And Eddie Ward has called it back.
Well, I think he actually had his back turned to this one. The touch judge has called it. A snappy little pass from Brett Green. He doesn't offload that often. But there it is, definitely forward.
That ruling back there was just simply for offside. The ball coming off a Broncos player who I must admit I thought was attempting a charge down. In other words, playing at the football. But I believe he's got the North Sydney side for being offside at the kick. In other words, he applied the downtown rule, Eddie Ward, which is a bit complex. There's several interpretations of it. Michael Hancock at mid-wicket. Tackled back on his own 20-metre line. The match winding down. 8 minutes to go. And the Bears by 5. Just outside the 20-metre line for the home side. Carroll, he's been very strong. They've built some attacking plays from his hit-ups. Kevin Walters, the pass went forward, and that will be a scrum. Loose head and feed for the Bears.
Well, there's still plenty of time on the clock. Kevin Walters there, pushing that pass, I think a little bit too early. Just have a look, he's around the corner of the park. It was just too late. Perhaps it was on a split second earlier. Lockyer had overrun it. And now the Bears the chance once again to, well, just to maybe try to get a couple of sets of 6 or maybe some extra points. A Taylor field goal, I think, would be another option.
Well, he dead set had a shot earlier. A couple of minutes back, he tried to make the margin 6.
These two second rows for North Sydney have been in great form tonight. David Fairley, as expected, he always plays well. He's mixed his game up well tonight, running in tight sometimes and out wide off the inside backs. But Greg Florimo, he's just been outstanding, the former centre. He's really found a home in the back row. He's been in everything.
Gary Larson wounded in the tackle. Oh, a bullet-like pass for Aiken. He was motoring. Now for Taylor for the drop. Charged down by Kevin Boulders, and he got it back.
Oh, great play.
That's called a bum down.
Well, the number 9's had a blinder of a second half, and that play was a beauty. They do get some more, another try and goal. You can thank Kerrod Walters for it.
Renoff wrestling with Aiken and Roy. 6 minutes to go. Still time for Brisbane. Kerrod for Alfie. And then for Kevin. The Ipswich connection, 30 metres out, and what an impact they've had tonight. Langer then, the grubbing kick. They're coming from everywhere, but Dallas is there. 9 dropouts. Brisbane will get it back again.
Oh, having the wingers done some good things tonight. Saylor, Hancock, Roy, and Brett Dallas has really come into his own defensively in their second half. He's cut off 2 or 3 of these at the pass. And Brisbane mounting an attack for this last 5 minutes. Wood calls time off.
Manly and Sydney City tomorrow. 5 o'clock, you'll see that in Sydney. Check your local guides for other telecast times. As Wendell Saylor comes back to be tackled and forced down, 35 away from the try line. They get in the queue, and Brett Green is pulled down with 28 metres separating him and the try line. Kerrod again. And the enthusiasm has taken over from the execution.
Yeah, it's a poor play, second tackle. Kerrod just trying to steal some more yards on the short side, but he was tackled as he went to pass it.
It's a strange move, and far be it from me to criticise Wayne Bennett, but the big grappling hook has gone on, and Kerrod's been put to the bench. Ooh, Craig Wilson fell into that tackle badly. A lot of these players have had trouble with their footing tonight. David Fairley, like a colossus. Ooh, Florimo went in with his head up. Took a peekaboo at the referee to say, is there anything coming? 15 is Danny Williams on the halfway line. 3.5 minutes to go. Josh Stewart with 42 metres to go. The last tackle, Taylor off the right foot, then onto the right foot for the kick. He hopes to get the bounce. And it comes out to the 20-metre line for the restart.
Oh, they're waiting for Peter Ryan to get on side before they can take the tap. Really need a big roll on here. Carroll's looking to do it. They have to get themselves up to the other end of the field in a hurry. Just over 3 minutes left.
Played by Lockyer, and Hancock runs it. The greasiness of the ground again exemplified. As Langer provides wide, ball for Walters. Oh, it's all gone backwards for Saylor.
Now he tries to come forward, but he has to go across the park and find Brad Thorne.
Good effort in defence. The Bears just stayed up. Everybody knew that the second phase play was on. They've all stayed up and forced Brisbane backwards, in fact, not even to the halfway line on the fifth tackle.
Renoff. Speculation that came off the hand of North Sydney. He hasn't restarted the tackle count. Taylor's lost it. Now he's restarted it. Justice has been done as Platt takes it to the 20-metre line and beyond to get it away for Carroll. He gets out of the tackle, gets it to the 10-metre line. Michael Hancock, 1 metre from the line. Kieran Walters, Alfie Langer, looking for his third try. Then for Kevin Walters. 5 tackles gone. Kerrod is back on the park, and then Alan Langer. He rolls it onto the ground, and Michael Butner has got the ball.
Well, plenty of time for 6 more tackles if they could have got it back. But Butner lunging at that ball, ran off ready to score if it had been a little bit deeper. Alan Langer just didn't put enough weight on that kick.
And now Eddie Wood calling out the North Australians, telling them to get off the field. But what an effort from North Sydney. Brisbane, out of all the teams in the competition, have got probably the most try-scoring potential with their star-studded back line, but they've held them at bay tonight, North Sydney.
David Fairley. Mark Soden. Josh Stewart. Last seconds of the game. 20 seconds left on the clock.
They couldn't have kicked it to a worse player, really. Sailor. Nigel Roy showed him the sideline. Kevin Walters. 6 more. Struck 4 in the play, the ball. Khan combines with Hancock. Hancock has been knocked over. Play on, says Ward. The touch judge has gone on. The touch judge has gone on. This will be to report, I think, the late tackle on Hancock.
Yeah, no doubt about it. This will be a penalty to the Brisbane side.
Well, the Bears better spread out, because no doubt Langer will take the tap and throw it out wide if they're not all out there.
Now, Eddie Ward saw that incident and he waved play on. I watched him closely. The arms went out, he waved play on. But the touch judge has seen a different story. Penalty to Brisbane. One last go for them.
So, the climax. We thought it was there, we thought it had expired, but here it is now, the bomb from Alfie Langer. It came off the uprights, it's gone all over the place, and it's gone down to ground, and it's all over. The Bears have won the third quarterfinal. 21 points to 16. The North Sydney Bears have beaten the Broncos again. Well, what an incredible start to the quarter-final series yet again. And this match has not gone down to the final siren, it's gone past the final siren before reaching its ultimate conclusion, with the Bears winning by 5 points, 21 to 16. Amazing stuff. Brisbane proving once again that you cannot leave the door open just a little, because that man Langer, he will come back and get you. But they've won it They've been magnificent, the Bears. Larson, Fairley, Florima. Haven't they worked tonight? Butner got a couple of tries. Langer was magnificent. 21-16, a break, and then we're back.
Just under